Good morning, students. This is the second session of this chapter, Reproduction in Animals. In the previous class, we had discussed about the basic concept of reproduction. The method of producing more of its own kind is known as reproduction, and there are two different types of reproduction. First of all, one of them are sexual, another one asexual. The sexual reproduction is a type of reproduction where two parents are involved, the proper fusion of gametes can be seen, and the young ones are not genetically identical to the parent. And sexual reproduction is also termed as biparental reproduction. Whereas in the case of asexual reproduction, only one individual is involved. There is no fusion of gametes, means no fusion of male and female sex, and here the young ones are genetically identical to the parent because the same character is inherited from that single parent to offspring. This is one of the simplest method of reproduction, and as only one individual is involved, it is also known as uniparental reproduction. And after that, we had discussed about the different ways or modes of asexual reproduction. Binary fission. The parent cell is divided into two daughter cells. Binary fission. Multiple fission. When a parent is repeatedly divided into a number of cells. Example, we have Plasmodium, the malarial parasite, where the number of daughter cells are many in numbers. Then we have budding, where the small outgrowths can be seen from the parent body and which after some time get detached from the parent body and forms a new individual. Then sexual reproduction. About sexual reproduction, we had discussed that what are the different cells present in the male and female body. We human being, we can reproduce. This is one of the characteristics of the living organisms, and every male and female, they have male reproductive organs. These organs produces the cells, the sex cells. They are known as gametes also. The male produce male sex cell and the female produce female sex cell. The male sex cell is also known as male gamete and the female sex cell is known as female gametes. The male gametes, particularly a name has been given to that male sex cell. It is your sperms. And in the case of female, it is known as egg or ova. Now what happens? When a male and female mate, the fusion takes place between the gametes produced by each of them. And that method of fusion of the sperm with one egg is known as fertilization. After fertilization, the product that is formed is known as zygote. Zygote is actually the fertilized egg. When an egg fused with the sperm, it is known as fertilized egg. The fertilized egg kept in a place for some times, and then it develops into several stages, and then an offspring is born. This happens in the sexual reproduction. The hermaphrodite and the parthenogenesis, these are the two terms that has been given in your do you know. Now what is the meaning of hermaphrodite? The individual which produces both the types of gametes. Means both male and female sex cell, it can be produced by that single living organism. Earthworm is one of the example. Parthenogenesis, actually parthenogenesis is a type of asexual reproduction where the females produce eggs without any fertilization. Means there is no intercourse, there is no fusion of sperm, but egg is produced, and it is found in some of the organisms like aphids, Daphnia and rotifers. Then we had discussed about the reproductive patterns. The fertilization and development which takes place externally, means outside the body of living organism, they are termed as external fertilization and external development. Second one, when the fusion takes place internally in the body of a female, but after fusion the fused or the fertilized egg released out, laid out from the body, and the development takes place outside the body. It is known as internal fertilization and external development. The third one, which can be seen in the human being, where a sperm enters the female body, fused inside the female body, and then the proper development of that fertilized egg takes place in the uterus of the female. That we will discuss later on. This is one of the pattern that where each and every process of fertilization and development, it takes place internally. Clear? Now, let's start the today's class. Today we are going to discuss about the structure of the male reproductive organs. This diagram you must have seen in your textbook. This is a diagram of a male reproductive system. Some of the terms you must have seen. Now, what are their roles? I'll tell you one by one. The same picture I have drawn here in an open manner. Same thing it is here. The ball-like structure, this one, the ball-like structure which you can see here, it is present in 2 in numbers, and this is known as testis. Testis is the main part of male reproductive organ where the sperm cells are produced. Clear? Testis, which is present in pair, and it is the main part of the male reproductive organ where sperms are produced. And this testis is found in a sac-like structure. And this sac-like structure is known as scrotum. Clear? What we call them? Scrotum. The testis is surrounded by a muscular layer. It is known as epididymis. What we called it? Epididymis. Done? And then you can check here this portion. This muscular organ, this is known as penis, and inside the penis, this tract, it is the urinary tract, and the lower portion of this urinary tract, it is known as urethra or urethral opening from where the urine discharge takes place. This is the bladder, and here the seminal vesicle is present. Now you can see there is a duct which connects the testes to the bladder and then to the prostate gland and then to the urinary tract. This is known as vas deferens. Means the urinary duct which contains or which collects the sperm cells as well as a liquid. A liquid is formed by this prostate gland which is known as semen. This liquid get mixed with the sperm cell and then it is passed through this urinary tract, and then from this urethral opener it is being discharged. The same diagram I have drawn here. This is the seminal vesicle, prostate gland for the production of the fluid, vas deferens which actually is the urinary duct which collects the sperm as well as the liquid which forms the semen, and then it is entering into the penis which is a muscular layer, and then which enters into the penis and forms the urinary tract, and then it comes to the lower part of the penis which is known as external urethra. This is the structure of the reproductive organ. As I told you, testis is the main part where the sperm cells are produced. Now this sperm cells which is produced in the testis is traversed from this vas deferens, and then the semen which is produced in the prostate gland, both of them gets mixed together, and then it is being discharged from the same point. One more thing, the urine discharge and the sperm discharge, both of them is taking place through one opening only, from the same opening. Okay, from one opening only, the urine as well as the semen or the sperm cells are being discharged. But it happens likewise, means if the semen discharge is done, that time the pressure stopped the bladder to being open. Okay, next one, the structure of a sperm. This is a sperm cell which is produced in this testis. Now you can see here this sperm is divided into three parts. This is the head part which is oval in shape, and then a little broad shape, this is known as middle piece, and then it gets connected with a tail like structure and it is named as tail. This sperm is extremely small, even smaller than the egg. This sperm is very small, it is smaller than the egg, and it can be seen only through microscope. Done? Now each sperm, they have three parts, just now I discussed: head, middle piece and tail. The head contains or produces enzymes that help the sperm to penetrate the female ovum. Now what happens? When the fusion takes place between an ovum and a sperm, the sperm is very small in comparison to the ovum. Okay, this is your ovum, and many of the sperm comes and try to penetrate or enter into the egg cell, but only one sperm enter the egg cell, because fusion is between only one sperm and egg cell. And this penetration of sperm cell into the egg cell, it is all because of the presence of enzymes at the head of the sperm. Clear? This is the structure of the sperm. The second one is female reproductive system. The female reproductive system, it is made up of a pair of ovaries, a pair of oviduct, uterus and vagina. This picture you must have seen in your textbook. This is the diagram of a female reproductive system. Just focus on this diagram. You will check that again there is two oval shaped structure found on either sides. They are known as ovaries. The ovaries are connected with the uterus. This is the area where the development of embryo takes place, or the internal development is seen in human being. The ovaries are connected with a tube-like structure which is known as oviduct. The oviduct is also known as fallopian tube. Fallopian tube, F-A-L-L-O-P-I-A-N, fallopian tube. This uterus is followed or open into an opening known as vagina. Now what are the functions of these parts? Let's discuss one by one. The female reproductive system consists of a pair of ovaries, a pair of oviducts, uterus and vagina. The main functions of the female reproductive system includes the production of eggs. In the case of male reproductive organ, we had just now discussed, the testis produces the male sex cell known as sperm. This is the sperm cell. Okay. Now this sperm cell is fused with the female sex cell. Here you can see the ovaries. The ovaries involved in the production of eggs. The ovaries involved in the production of eggs. In the case of oviduct, the fallopian tube, here the fusion of an egg and a sperm take place. In the case of uterus, here the implantation of the fused or the fertilized egg, which is known as zygote, takes place, where the zygote goes on development and forms the embryo and then offspring. So basically the main function of the female reproductive systems are: first, production of eggs; second, receiving the sperms; and third, providing the site for fertilization. The growing embryo gets attached to the uterus and the fetus develops here. Once again I am repeating this line. The production of eggs, it is seen in ovary. Receiving the sperms and providing the site for fertilization, the oviduct. The sperms enter through the vagina and then here the sperm fused with the matured egg which comes out from the ovary. The fusion takes place in the fallopian tube. After that, this fused or fertilized egg or zygote get attached to the uterus after some times, and the fetus, embryo and the fetus developed here. The ovaries produced eggs, and egg reaches the oviduct. When a sperm fuses with the egg, a zygote is formed. It is this zygote that divides and develops to form the young one. Here, when the fertilization takes place, after a few days and week, the zygote goes on division and then it forms embryo. The embryo again goes on number of division, forms the offspring, and we called it as, and it comes out in the form of young one. The ovaries also produce hormones that control the production of ova. As in the case of sperm, the head contains the enzymes which help in penetration during the fusion with the egg. Whereas the ovaries also contain or produce some hormones which control the production of ova, and these hormones also help in the maintenance of pregnancy. Female hormone, testosterone, which is also known as androgen. Female hormone, they are estrogen and progesterone. In the case of female hormone, they also need a very small amount of this male hormone testosterone. Once again repeating, the main female hormones are estrogen and progesterone, which controls the production of eggs as well as help in pregnancy. The male hormone testosterone, it is also present in female, in some cases in a very small amount. Clear? Next one, the IVF. You must have heard the signboard in your locality or in your city. Do you know what is the meaning of this IVF? First, its full form is in vitro fertilization. Now what happens? When a male and female, when a male cell and female cell is not able to fuse normally and naturally, that particular egg cell and sperm cell they are fused outside the female body in a small container, in a type of a glass tube. Then the zygote developed externally. It is planted in the female body or injected in the female body by some techniques, medical technique. The offspring formed after this method is known as test tube baby, or the babies conceived through IVF are referred as test tube baby. Got my point? Once again, the egg of a female body or the sperm cell and of the male body, when they are fused outside the female body, means it is not fertilized naturally. With some technique and with artificial method, the egg and sperm are fertilized outside the female body. Then the baby is conceived through that method, the IVF. They are known as test tube baby. Why it is referred as test tube? Because the fertilization that is being taken in a container, it is actually a shape of a test tube which we generally see in the laboratories. You know, the Louis Brown, who is the first test tube baby, she is known in the world. She is a lady, the Louis Brown. Louis Brown is the first test tube baby found in the world, who is born on 25 July 1978 in an England hospital. And I heard somewhere her father is also awarded by the Nobel Prize in Medicine field. And even in India, in the same year, 1978, on 3rd October, by Dr. Subhash Mukherjee, the first test tube baby is found. She has also celebrated her 40th birthday. Her name is Kanupriya Agrawal. You can check, it is written here. IVF, in vitro fertilization. It is a process by which ova are fertilized by sperms outside the female body. The fertilized egg is then transferred to the uterus of a woman with the intent to establish a successful pregnancy. Babies conceived through IVF are referred to as test tube babies. The term test tube refers to the tube-shaped containers of glass called test tubes that are commonly used in science laboratories. The first test tube baby, Louis Brown, was born in 1978, and she is a mother of a twin boy. Done? Got the point? What is the meaning of IVF? Now, the next one is, how does fertilization takes place? What is the method of fertilization? The fertilization takes place in the initial part of the oviduct. You know what is the name of that initial part? It is ampulla. The initial part of oviduct or fallopian tube, it is known as ampulla, where the fertilization takes place. Just now I told you, the female reproductive organ, they are involved in production of eggs, receiving of sperms, and providing the site for fertilization. The ovary produce the egg cell. The oviduct gives or receives the sperm as well as provide the site for fertilization, and in the uterus the embryo gets attached and the fetus develop here. Now, in the ampulla of the oviduct, the fertilization takes place, which is the initial part of the oviduct or fallopian tube. When the sperm and ovum, male and female gametes fuse, their fusion is called fertilization. We know it very well. Since it takes place inside the body of the female, it is an internal fertilization. The pattern of fertilization we had discussed in the previous class, that fertilization is taking place inside the female body. The sperm is received by the female body, and in the fallopian tube the fertilization takes place. So it is a type of internal fertilization. During this process, the nuclei of the sperm and the egg fuse to form a single nucleus. Here's a diagram. See here. This is a diagram representing the structure of the sperm, and this is an egg. We all know that they are the sex cells, and each cell contains nucleus. Nucleus is the part which control almost all the activities of the cell. We had discussed in lesson number 1 what is the role of the nucleus. Now you see, they both of them have distinct nuclei. Now this sperm is projecting towards the egg. The sperm is projecting towards the egg, and after sometimes when the enzymes present on the head of the sperm help in fusion, then you can see here the second one. Here the sperm is fused with egg, and now it has 2 nuclei. This is a fertilized egg, and that's why it is written here zygote. After formation of zygote, the nuclei present in the cell also merge together or disintegrate and forms a single nucleus in zygote. Clear? See, since it takes place inside the body of the female, it is an internal fertilization. During this process, the nuclei of the sperm and egg fuse to form a single nucleus. The resultant single cell formed after fertilization is called a zygote. The zygote contains the nuclear part of sperm from the father and the egg from the mother. It is for this reason that a child has some characteristics of the father and some characteristics of the mother. We all know this. The nucleus contains the genetic character, the DNA, and here you see one nucleus is from male or father and the another is from female, the mother. So both of the nucleus, it merges together, they merge together or fuse together to form a single nucleus. Hence, both the characters are transferred to the offspring. That's why it is said that a child has some characteristics of the father and some characteristics of the mother. Now you can try to find out why siblings. Siblings means the brothers and sisters of the same parent, from the same parent, have some common characters. Even you can see the brother and sisters of your own, they have very common characters because your parents are same. We have already inherited the characters either from parent or either from father or mother or from both. That's all in today's class. Thank you. Bye bye everyone.